কাছে কল করবো না, আমি লাইভে যাচ্ছি, জাস্ট দেখো ঠিকঠাক চলছে কিনা একটু দেখো, ঠিক আছে? I think it's getting live. We can start, I guess. Just a second. I think we are live.
Okay.
Just a second so I can see that it is live. Let me get the notification.
So is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it is on YouTube.
Oh. Hi.
Hi, I think it's visible.
Yeah.
I think there is something happening. Just a second, I will have a quickly look on it.
No issues.
Can you just switch on your camera, please? So I think, yeah, so quickly check that. It's visible. So, dear audience, please let me know that whether you are audible. Can you hear us? Please drop a message in the chat box. So, can you see us? So, we can start the live session. Can you hear us? Good. So I think visible to everyone. Good. So we are live right now. So I think we can start the session.
Okay.
Okay, so Giri, welcome to my channel first of all. So
Thanks for inviting me, Aishwarya.
yeah, thank you. So let's start quickly. Start some couple of questions.
Yeah, no issues. You can go
Okay.
ahead.
So, welcome to my beautiful audience. So, today we are going to have a real talk. As you know, getting a job is a huge thing, and it's a huge challenge, I can say. So, today we have an expert who is about 8 years experience in the field of engineering analyst, and he has come across a huge journey with ups and downs. So today I will have some Q&A session. So I think our audience can have a clear understanding that how they can mold their career, mold their future. So getting a job won't be a huge challenge for them. So let me introduce our guest, Mr. Giridharan. After completing his aerospace engineering degree. He has started his journey as an engineer for 3 years, and from that, he transformed his career to a senior engineer for another 3 years in Quest Global Limited. From the last 2 years, he is working as an engineer, engineering analyst at Infosys India Limited, Bangalore. So today we have Mr. Giridharan going to share his tough challenges that he has faced while getting a job as a fresher. So say something about it.
Okay. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. I think it's already past 12 o'clock, right? Yeah. Okay. So myself, Giridharan. So as you all know, I think Aishwarya has already said that I have around 8 years of experience in the field of aeronautical engineering. Yeah, it's like uh, kind of bit true to survive in this industry or field. And as she said, actually, to be frank, I am a junior of Miss Aishwarya Dara, and it's been a long time since I spoke to her, and she came to me asking like, "Will you be able to give me a Q&A session so that I we can guide the upcoming engineers who are following same pursuit as what I did?" And I was very happy, and here I am sitting before you. And thanks, Aishwarya, for providing me this opportunity to share my experiences. And to start with, I finished my engineering degree in 2012. After that, I had a break for around 8 months. To be frank, I was trying to get into the field. I was very adamant uh, to be, like going into the field of aeronautical engineering. At least I have to do something regarding that. So I was very, like keen to go into the manufacturing sector or quality sector regarding which is related to aeronautical. So I was trying a lot, applying for various companies, applying for all top OEMs, applying for all service industries around the country. And then like it was a very tough situation. I had to sit in my home and like how it happens. So it all went in vain. I wasted 8 months after finishing my graduation. Then I had an opportunity to come to Bangalore where I met some of my old friends, college mates, and my seniors. So they guided me that like, see, don't worry, you have like a path here. You just try to get in some software knowledges, which is like closely related to either designing or like the structural side of the aeronautical field. So okay, then I made a decision. Like I had a small hunch, like that I was supposed to go into the field of structural, being a structural engineer. So I took up a course in Bangalore for doing this MSc Nastran pattern, which was uh, quite at the peak at the time, around 2013. So I thought of like, okay, let me at least get knowledge on that. I was very adamant that I shouldn't be going to any software, but that's how it works. You have to have these basic skills, and that's where I like I took 7 months. I went on training with that particular group of people that they helped me a lot. So I understood how uh, uh, what was supposed to be taught to us for the past 4 years. They like they refreshed it and recapped it for within the past like the training time 6 months, and including that I was trained in this MSc National Pattern software. And then okay, then I got to know from my friends who were already doing apprenticeship in this one Aeronautics Limited. They told that they're taking a new batch. So I just applied for that, and I got a chance to get into HAL. So that was like an eye opener for me. Like even though you're doing some training, it is a great opportunity to get training from working on the real world, like how it is working on and how it is being done by the Indian government or how it is being done in our country. So I went on to do that training for 1 year, apprentice training, because it's actually 1 year. I completed 1 year. So when I was about to finish 1 year, I got opportunity to get an interview from Quest Global. So from there, yeah, it all started. So I thought like I will be going to some field. as a structural engineer. But when I went to the organization, I was into a different team. Actually, they told me during the interview that this will be for a like kind of design automation. I'll come to what is an automation in the next phase. So then I joined the company. So I struggled a bit in the initial stages, like for the 4 to 5 months when I joined the company. But it was that struggle was very good because I had a chance of like gaining some more knowledge on how the corporate world works and what are the expectations from the service industry or the industry to whom you are recruited. Uh, so that's how it went. So for the initial 5 months, I learned a lot from like from being a graduate, from being a trainee to a corporate employee, how the transformation works, and what are the expectations they like they try to get from you. So that's how I went, and then after 1 year in the company, I got an opportunity to work for uh, OEM called Rolls Royce. So they asked me to come to on-site. I went there for like 4 to 5 months. Then we did a pilot project over there, so they were happy, and the project came to us. And then it continued for another 2 3 years. So then I was promoted to senior engineer. So that's how it went. And after that, I joined engineering analyst. It was for the same company who I was supporting earlier, like the OEM which I was supporting earlier. So now I am into the field of like aeronautical, but still I'm doing a kind of customization or automation for the my customer. So I'm supporting their tools. So that's how it's going on now.
Fine. So I think there are some like youngsters,
Mm-hmm.
and you can say some freshers.
Okay.
They have some confusion. Like as a fresher,
Mm-hmm.
like they don't know which domain to go. Like for an example, structures you're talking about, aerodynamics we have, then
Mm-hmm.
we have propulsion.
Yeah.
So they have a huge confusion. So when you are a fresher, so what was your suggestion? Like what will be your suggestion to the upcoming generation?
Okay. This is like a rewind of what happened to me
Yes,
10 years back.
exactly.
So actually, I was in a bit confusion when I thought of like taking, like I was like, okay, which field should I take?
Yeah.
So, but I was very, like my passion was towards structures in the initial stages.
Mhm.
So that was the main reason why I took that training in MSc in Astron Pattern. So it again depends. Like, see, if you are aware that you are very strong in particular subject, then you can go ahead and follow that particular passion. Or else you're a bit confused, and then you could see, or you can have a discussion with like people or your seniors who are working. Like if you have the connections, so they'll let you know what is the current industry or how it is working or what are the expectations. Yeah, I'll be able to like tell you some expectations what are happening now, but even it will be great if you have connections to with your seniors or like well wishers, and they'll exactly let you know what is being like uh, asked from the industry. So like for example, as I should have said, like see, currently now propulsion is also having some or like a kind of boost in our economy or like in our country, because you can
Absolutely.
see various startups, uh, some startups which are concentrating on like space launch and all these rocket things.
True.
And even there's even a new thing called this drone. Like I'm not that much aware in that, but I know like how a drone works. So that is also one booming industry now. So yeah, that's how like it's again depends on your thinking ability, or I don't know like how to say that. It again depends on the criteria which is being asked at that current moment when you pass out, or else you can do this thing like when you are in your college engineering degree, you could try to gain some skills, like if you have when you get free time, or if you're able to manage your weekend times, you could do some basic software knowledge, like like these CAD applications, which are like many of the students might be knowing, like CATIA, NX, SolidWorks. On the analysis side, you have answers. What is that? In NX only, you have all this simulation, FEM things coming up, and like PLM side. So if you reach the if you approach the right service provider, like those who take trainings in the weekends, and if it is quite viable for you, you could go ahead and go take on the trainings, and you can get a basic understanding of how these things works. And the additional thing is that, see, if you're uh, a computer science enthusiast, like one who wants to do something, one who wants to learn the languages and do something with that language, you could start with, um, see, everyone says C, C++, C sharp, Python. That's
Yeah.
what I'm also going to say, because that's how these are the softwares which are being supported for the CAD applications. CAD applications is the CAD aided drafting or designing, like NX, CATIA, and all these things. And even the same thing, like like now currently the Python is being supported for ANSYS development. So that's how it goes. Like you, you just no need to go in very deep. You just understand what are the basics in those software package, like not software packages, these languages. It would be helpful for you to like put in your resume, and you can land a interview very soon if you have these things. Because these were the things which I was lagging when I went into the industry. So now, these things are being asked upfront, so that like it will be very easy for the people to put in a live project very soon. So yeah.
So I think from there, I think key things to take away is that they should be skillful, like in terms of technical skills,
Hmm.
like C++,
Yeah.
Python.
Yeah.
What about MATLAB? Like they should learn.
uh, yeah, MATLAB is a good question, but as I don't have any like particular knowledge in MATLAB,
Okay, okay.
I can't I don't have any.
But you suggest Python,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
Python. Yeah, it again depends. Like, see, if you want to go into a in the future, you have a feeling that you want to do some kind of artificial learning, like artificial intelligence or machine learning kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, then Python and all these related R language. Uh, I think I'm saying it correctly. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
R is another
yeah, yeah.
is
So if you
difficult.
are into this, if you want something to be very future, like okay, you want to be moving as an analyst or the one who data scientist kind of thing, after doing all this CAD related work, but you may feel that this is quite away from our field, but
Okay.
still we have people who are doing this because it will be very helpful for future development. And this is for those who are very like keen into going to data science or all these things. If you're very like you're very like kind of, I want to be sitting with the like domain, aeronautical domain is what I am made for, then yeah, it will be very helpful if you have C++, C sharp, C. Any one of these should be fine. Any one
Okay.
of the basics should be fine. Then uh, this should be helpful once like go into the company which you are being recruited. At that time, you will feel okay. At least you have a knowledge on that. You can try to improve something. Yeah, there will be like in initial stage. Yeah, it might be difficult, but going forward, like once you get 6 months to 1 year experience, then you'll feel like how it is important, why it is important to have these basic knowledge.
Right. So I think those of my audience have been noting these things like Python, C plus. That means, do you think that what sort of question they put forward during interview? Like, do they
Okay.
ask some kind of coding in the interview, or what sort of questions you can expect like that?
Okay. So there are various streams, right? As I said, see, if you want to be a designer, only a
Mm,
designer, you should be well sufficient. Like you should have well sufficient knowledge on, example for GD&T,
mm,
the geometric dimensioning and tolerancing.
mm,
Yeah,
mm,
that's how like how the assembly works. They just ask questions on that. They'll ask like, what is this parallelism? For example, I'm saying on GD&T,
mm.
how concentric thing works. How do you like mate a particular part with other part? So what
Yeah.
are the constraints you'll put? These are
Yeah.
basic questions if you're going as a designer.
Mm,
If you say that you know GD&T or you have a basic understanding of GD&T, and they'll expect some CAD software knowledge, at least knowledge of it, not working experience if you're going as a fresher. Because anyhow, some companies are giving trainings, but still it will be helpful. It'll be a good step forward if you have some basic knowledge on those things. And again, if you're coming as an analysis engineer, what is like, as I think I've seen your previous question as where you say what are the basics for getting a job as an analysis engineer or design engineer. I
Yeah.
think those things should answer those questions, but still you should be having a basic understanding of the required software or the application which is being used, and how what are the kind of stresses you have, and what are the theories of failure. These are the basic things which they ask for your interview. And see,
Moreover,
I'm not.
that means they have to be prepared
Mhm.
about like structures, like strength of material,
Yes,
rather
yeah,
I think,
yeah,
like
you're right.
uh,
Mm.
failure of safety and that sort of
Yeah, they,
things.
they should have some basic understanding on these things. So I think that should be very helpful. So,
Okay. Do you suggest that if any students are clear with the gate and it
uh-huh.
is be beneficial for them to get into a job?
Gate.
Yeah,
Okay.
after cracking gate.
After cracking gate, I think my personal suggestions, you please don't take
Hmm.
it as accounted. My personal suggestion is that, see, once if I would have cracked gate, I would never come to the corporate life. I would have gone in a different way, in a different way.
Okay.
I would have gone into some of the good colleges, either IIT or like based upon my ranking, I would have gone into some college. And then probably after once, like, if I had got the knowledge in masters, then I would have thought like either should I go to the corporate life or should I go into research or should I go into some continuing my doctorate or something. Because I've seen people like those who are working with me. I've seen people almost like in my team, almost half of them are gate qualified and they have finished their masters and they have come out of IITs and top colleges in India. So what they have done is they have come into OEMs. So that is also one basic screening for OEMs. They look for masters people and those who are coming from good colleges, like top level colleges, top tier colleges. That's how we can say. So it again depends on like how you want your like career to go ahead. If you feel you want to come into corporate life after finishing it, please do your masters. That is a very good thing to do. Please do your masters. It will be helpful. You can go ahead and join any companies which is recruiting you. Then from there, it again depends like whether you want to continue or you want to take some research options or you want to go to abroad. It all depends.
Okay. I think I have one more question
Sure.
that most of the students know have a
Mm.
thinking that studying for 4 years is not a like easy task. So
Okay.
obviously they want to like go for a job. Their main motto is to
Yeah.
go for job.
Hmm.
And the second option they have is that okay, if we don't get a job, then go for masters, right?
Yeah.
They go endlessly,
Yeah.
right? So like what do you suggest in these cases?
Okay. So if I'm not wrong, see, this case arises when they have some responsibilities.
Yeah,
See, probably
exactly.
most of the
Mm.
students or most of
Family
the, yeah,
responsibilities
family response.
financial
So
proof.
in that case, see, if you are the only person who's going to support your family, then go ahead and search for a job. Don't have a second thought on that. If you think that, yeah, you'll be able to manage, like your family will be able to manage, then you can go ahead and pursue a master's. Just sit another 2 years and do it, and then you can have a good again it'll be a bit similar compared what is happening to you after 4 years of doing your bachelor's. But the thing is that you might land in a different place. That is the only difference. It
Okay.
again depends on how like an individual takes it. So as I but this confusion comes for everyone. I
Yeah,
know that,
true.
but so those who are having family responsibilities, they'll go for job. They don't have a second thought. But again, as I said, If you have, if your family is able to survive without your support for another 2 3 years, and then go ahead and do your masters. It shouldn't be having any tough toll on you, because that's how the industry is working now. Because see, we are seeing many engineers coming out every year. So if you what to say, if you fail to find a job very soon, you will be in a list where they think that okay, you have passed out last year or like 6 months back. And if you're doing something, yeah, that is fine. If you're sitting simply, it is of no use. Because I found that thing hitting me, because when I wasted 7 to 8 months, it had a great toll on me. But anyhow, my parents, yeah, they somehow managed, but still, it will not be the case for everyone, right? So again, I have to suffer for one year. Not suffering because you don't get much during an apprenticeship training. See, if you have taken a loan, you have to pay it. Those things, or like all these things come. So it again depends. It's all
Yes.
individual
Yeah. So
thinking.
another thing, connecting question,
Mm,
like people, there are some people or student you can say that if they pursue masters
mm-hmm,
in that particular domain,
mm-hmm.
they will get better package. So what do you think about it? Is it true?
Uh, Better package. Okay, masters again. So it
Okay.
depends on which college or which institute are doing it. See, as I said, if you get qualified, no worries. Go if you're getting good college, like good top tier college, do it. You'll get a better package. That is for sure.
Mm.
But if you're doing masters from, like, for sake of doing masters, if you're doing masters from some college, uh, and if you're technically sound, yeah, you should be able to get a good package. That will be very better. But I can't assure you that whether this thing will happen or not. Because as far as I've seen people from reputed colleges and top tier colleges getting into the industry very soon. Like, this is because the legacy which they follow. Like, they have been here for quite a long time, and they have
Mm.
been consistently giving good students out, right? So that's how it works. So if you're doing masters, you think about, like, in which institute are you going to do, and you think, okay, if you're going to do in some institute, that's not a problem, but make sure that you are technically very sound in after doing that masters. Because again, after doing masters, you'll be a fresher, so you should be having the relevant knowledge in the industry or the discipline which you are there. So
Mm.
if it is fine, yeah, you'll also get a better package.
Right. So basically, they should be technically good enough,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, you're right.
So I have seen, many students like they are good in structures, but they're aiming to go as a CAE engineer or
Okay.
aerodynamics. So I think that's completely different, right?
Mm,
So they
yeah.
don't understand. Another thing, I think they should understand that if they are
Okay.
focusing on structures, go
Hmm.
for the structural
Yes.
domain.
Yeah.
If they focused on propulsion or aerodynamics, they should have relevant skills.
Yeah. You're right.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
see, if, one thing is that if you are strong in one subject,
mm,
and if you want to go into some other field, you can try, but still, if you don't understand like how that works, you don't lose your strength in your current subject. Please go ahead with that subject. Try to gain more knowledge on that and land a job. And after that, whenever you have time, you try to like understand how the other discipline works. And if you are strong enough, you can at any point of time you can switch over to the other discipline, and you can start doing whatever you liked.
right.
At the same time, you'll be having multi versatile, like you'll be strong in strength, like for example strength of materials, and again you'll be strong in the other one if it is aerodynamics. Yeah, if both things go good, you can even land a job in some R&D centers, not only in India. You can, like, if everything goes fine, if you're uh, at the point of time when you're having some experience, if there is opportunity from abroad, yeah, that will also help you.
Fine. Okay. I think this is also one of the like key point to take away,
Mm.
that if you have an experience in abroad or some like, do you suggest like if any students have done some patent, or will it
Mm,
be beneficial to get a
yeah,
job?
patent. Yeah, it will be very beneficial. See, if you have, if you're keen in giving something to the society, or if you're keen in doing something for your industry, it would be good. Like if you have a patent, and if it is in your name, or like even if it is in some other's name, and you are like you are supporting to it, or you have contributed to that, that is a one a big boost for your resume. And even if you publish some papers, it will also be very good, because see, as far as I have seen, because most of the companies in India is service industry, and they try to like support industries which are there in abroad. For example, US, UK, Germany, France, uh, to name a few. So these are the places where you have all the OEMs, right? So when they try to like when you go into a service industry, and when you try to support them, and if they'll also be sent a resume which will be sent from your company, and if they see that you have done some patent, you have done some publishing, it will be very good for them, and they'll appreciate you once, like if that thing is being implemented in their projects. So it again, that's what, uh, you if you have the knowledge, you try to publish some papers, try to get some patents, if it is viable for you, if you have that, uh, I don't know how to say that. So that is one good thing. Yeah, that is a very thing which boosts your resume.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
think we will now last question from my
sure.
side.
Hmm.
Like, what do you suggest to the upcoming futures, like future engineers or the
Hmm.
job seeker, like
Hmm.
those who are still searching jobs? Like, the COVID has created an huge,
Yeah. Hmm.
like what we can say, scenario, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Job
Hmm.
crisis and all. So, what do you suggest in this present scenario, like how they can easily get a job, and in some few words?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm, don't, like, one thing I can say is, don't stop trying. Okay, whatever you know, you keep on improving in that particular thing. Because even as already she said, I have seen some struggle in my career. So the one thing which kept me going is, like, at least whatever you know, you try to, like, be proficient in that, be updated in that. That should help you in getting something. In this case, as she said, in the COVID, and that we didn't expect. No one expected that to happen. So, like, whatever you are strong enough, you please be improving in that. That should be helpful for you, and don't lose hope. That's one thing I can say.
Yeah, because as a fresher, getting a job at a single interview is not a easy
No,
task, and it never happens. It never
no,
happens.
it never happened to me also.
Yeah, it never
As I
happened to
said,
anyone.
see, it took me roughly 2 years to land a job in my first company. So in between that time, I applied for almost, I can't say, I don't know how many companies I applied, or how many roles I applied for. Around 100, to be frankly, at that time. I mean, 10 years back.
100 in
Yeah,
2014.
yeah,
My
2000,
God,
not 100 interviews,
okay,
200 applications, 100 job applications.
applications.
Interview probably I would have given like 8 to 9 or 10 something.
I hope you
So
have learned from each and every
yeah,
interview.
actually, the first company, right, the Quest, that was the second interview which I attended, which I got through. First
Great.
one, I didn't go through, because see, I went and I did some mistakes. Yeah, it happens, right, to everyone. So it all comes from experiences.
That's. I
So
think there are a lot to learn from you, and
now I'm just a small part of it. I know many of my friends who struggled more than me.
yeah. So you're the lucky one.
Yeah, of course. I should say that I'm lucky in some way. I don't
Right. So I think to be an engineering analyst, any engineers
know.
can be engineering analyst, or it is only precise to aerospace engineering.
No, no, like engineering analyst is just a title which is given in my company now.
Okay.
It again depends on experience. So like I got it as I had 7 years experience. So if you're joining as an initial engineer, they'll give you as an engineer or trainee engineer. It again depends on company which we are joining. So title doesn't matter. That's what I would say.
Okay. So I think no questions from the audience. I
Mhm.
think if any question from the audience, so I would like to know, please drop in the chat box. So I think the key factor what we have learned from you is that skills play a very vital role.
Mhm.
Get at least one skill, be proficient in that.
Yeah,
Additionally, patent and research publication can create an add-on benefits,
yeah, you're right.
right? And being an don't keep on options like masters. If you do masters, then you will get a better salary. Nothing like that. I think at the end they look for skills.
Yeah,
For an engineer, skills is the only thing. Degree is the secondary,
yeah,
right? So I think let me check the chat box. Is there any questions? Are there? I think we have covered most of the thing. Uh, I think we don't have any questions from the audience. So if we have any questions, I will get back to you.
sure.
Giri, thank you for I think this interview session and the real talk has been enlightened my audience and the job seeker, especially for aerospace, because for aerospace, people, they think that there is no job is available, but I think and I believe that being an aerospace engineer, they are actually a versatile. They learn coding. They are specialists in structures. They know fluid mechanics, that is, which comes in the terms of aerodynamics. They are
Yeah.
versatile,
Mm,
versatile engineering department, we can say.
yeah.
So, do you agree the same?
Yeah, of course. Like
Yeah.
aeronautical is top level, and if you
Yes.
dive, like you go in deep, you'll be able to see various departments. Like as you said, fluid mechanics, aerodynamics, and flight mechanics,
Yeah.
structures. Um, it goes on. You can't
Goes
you
on,
can't just
and with a single skill they
mm,
can go a number of job.
yeah.
So the thing is, if any of my viewers or job seeker think that being an aerospace engineer especially they don't have job, I will say that you have to gain your technical skills to get a job,
Yes, you're right.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So getting a job, there is a huge, I think, vacancy, but I think the corporate sector also getting lack of, the technical people they're
Mm,
looking for, truly looking for,
yes, yeah.
right? So thank you, Giri. Thank you for giving us time. I think it's around 20 more than 20 minutes.
No, no issues.
Yeah, and thank you so much for joining with us.
Thanks a lot, Aishwarya, for giving me
Thank
this
you.
opportunity. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye. Yeah.